Hey, it's Josephine for The Pointe Shop. I did a fitting with Kaylani today. She's one of the ambassadors for Nikolay. I know I've already done a video explaining a couple different models from Nikolay, but I wanted to show you specifically on a dancer who is pretty lightweight. Kaylani's not a new dancer. She's been dancing for quite some time, but she is quite young. So she's 13 years old, but she's even smaller than most 13-year-olds, so she doesn't weigh much. So you have to be really careful with dancers that don't weigh anything, because if you're floating in the air, you're not really working through your feet, you're not articulating, and you're not quite getting better either. So sometimes the shoe is heavier than the dancer and it tends to pull them back. So I have to keep that in mind while I'm fitting dancers that are newer or dancers that are quite small that don't weigh much. I was looking at 2 pairs of pointe shoes today. A lot of dancers wear a couple different types of pointe shoes because one may help you balance, one may help you turn. There's a lot of different things that dancers will do in different types of models. This is actually Kaylani's size. She's really tiny feet, so she's a size 3. The most distinct thing about the Dream Pointe or Allure, the Dream Pointe has a very sharp shank. Most of the Nikolay pointe shoes are 3/4 shank, which means that it's hard up until the 3/4 point and it gets soft at the end towards the heel. The Dream Pointe is one of the few that has that pre-arch that is very sharply bent right here. So I didn't modify the shoe at all. This is how it comes. Because it has that sharp edge, it automatically gives you something for your heel to sit on top of. So even if the shoe is still supportive and still pretty sturdy, a lot of dancers are able to push over because the shape allows you to kind of press over to the edge of that box. So you can also see that the platform is not completely flat. It goes up slightly so that you can push over towards the edge a little bit more, so that helps you get over on your box as well. A lot of pointe shoes, even if they are really, really soft, if you're light enough, if you don't weigh enough, it'll pull you towards the back of the platform. If that happens, you start to grip your Achilles, and that's not a really good place to be. So you definitely want to be well aligned and all the way on top of your platform. So I really like that about the Dream Pointe shoes. This shape is very classic for Nikolay. You see this a lot of times. It's nicely tapered all the way to the tip of the platform. It's the same model as the 3007, as the Nova. I really like this guy right here that helps a lot of dancers get over. Of course, the traditional shape, it's incredibly versatile, even though it's pretty tapered. Even dancers with quite wide toes, they're still able to wear this tapered shoe. Kaylani actually doesn't have very tapered toes. She's pretty straight, her toes are pretty wide, she has a lot to balance on, but she's still able to wear a tapered platform. So this actually works for a lot more dancers than you think. The Katia was created so that you can have something that's a little bit softer. The Katia has a slightly wider platform than the Dream Pointe, so it's a little bit easier for balancing. Some dancers do better in a smaller platform, and some dancers do better in a wider platform. In Kaylani's case, she likes a wider platform because there's just more to balance on. On top of that, because of the suede that's already built in, you don't slip as easily. This satin is pretty slippery, so if you don't have rosin or if you don't have a suede tip, then it's quite difficult to kind of grip the floor. So this really helps. And then the vamp is a lot shorter. So this part right here, if the vamp is a little bit shorter, it's great for short toes so that you can roll through a little bit easier. The Dream Pointe, it's actually a little bit longer than the Katia. So the Katia is a little bit shorter in the vamp, so it's a little bit easier to roll through. The fabric is cut a little bit differently. So the fabric, it swoops a little bit to the heel. So there's a little bit less fabric on the side, but then the heel comes up a little bit longer, so it grips onto the heel while still showing off your feet. With someone as tiny as Kaylani, she has really small feet. You want to show off the feet as much as possible, so this little swoop really helps with that. I'm a big fan of Nikolay because they create really great quality products. The material that they use is all natural. Mr. Nikolay always jokes that you can eat these pointe shoes because it's all natural materials, and they always do a really great job in terms of quality control, so I'm just a really big fan. If you like this video, hit subscribe, hit the like button, notification bell, all of these things help us out. If you'd like some of our merch, you can go on our website, and if you'd like a virtual fitting, then you can sign up for a fitting on our website. I'll see you guys soon.